Yo, what is up, guys? Kitty King back here with another Boku no Hero review. Sorry for the late upload. I was actually, I was in that Final Fantasy Stormblood, you know what I'm saying? I got addicted to it. I forgot today was Saturday. That's how much I've been into it. And, I actually watched the episode late today. I just actually got done not watching it not too long ago, but yeah, I watched it through twice, and, here we are with this week's review. But, anyways, it kind of starts off, basically they get right into it. Bokugo, is just looking for his locker room to wait before the fight. And he goes to the wrong one, of course, knowing Bakugo. He goes to the wrong locker room where his opponent's in, which is kind of funny because, you're not supposed to see somebody before you getting ready to fight them. It's kind of weird. But, he goes in there and he's talking to Shoto and whatnot. And he basically, in his own ways, telling them, you better go all out against me and, don't ignore me and whatnot, all this stuff. And Shoto just brings up Midoriya, and of course Bakugo hates that. He hates anything to do with Midoriya. He brings up Midoriya and he is like, he came fighting to help me, which is surprising. He might have won if I didn't use my fire, blah blah blah. He didn't say that, but that's kind of what it was sounding like. He was, he came coming to help me during the fight, not to, that was basically his primary goal, was to help him go all out or whatever, or help him get past his issues that's going on with him. And he asked Bakugo, he's like, yo, was Midoriya always like this? Like, when you were childhood friends, was he always like this? Bakugo has flashbacks, and of course he was. And, Bakugo's upset. Yeah, I don't know why. Midoriya is a nice guy and everything, but he hates him. He wants to be number one. So he's like, man, whatever. Just go all out against me. But, then it gets into it. It sounds like it cuts to the scene in the stands, and it sounds like that song, Motherfucking Animals, by Martin Garrix, that Animals song. It sounded like some type of music, some techno music like that was playing. I thought it was pretty funny. I was like, yeah, they playing Animals up in here. But, there are people in the stands, they're getting ready to fight, and, kind of just gets right into it. Nothing really big happens for that. They start the fight, and Shoto starts off like he started off most of his fights, just by blowing a huge ice attack in the middle of the stage. But Bakugo, he kind of just blows it off, and he's blowing the ice away and whatnot. And Shoto's just there with a huge icicle sticking off the stage like usual. And he's just there waiting. And then Bokugo comes through. He's blowing through the ice like a tunnel. He's tunneling like a mole is what they said. It's like, everybody's like, okay, that's kind of weird. He just blew through it like a mole. But he blows through it and manages to get to Shoto. Then he attacks. He goes in and he grabs Shoto's left side, provoking him, trying to get him to go all out, trying to get him to use his fire side pretty much, and going for his quote-unquote weakness. And even the announcers are like, yeah, he's gotten better every time he's fighting. He's smart and whatnot. He's going for that left side. But I mean, it's obvious. Don't give him praise for that. Everybody knows to attack his left side if he's gonna be a biddy and not use his shit, what I'm saying? But no, he goes and he attacks his left side and whatnot, and he throws Shoto, who slides out of bounds. He doesn't slide out of bounds. He uses his ice to slide from a void being out of bounds. So he gets thrown towards the edge, and he kind of does an ice wand, slides around like he's skating on and shit. I thought it was pretty cool. And then Bokugo goes to attack him again. He then grabs him with his left side, and it's it cuts. It's like right there. Bokugo looks like, oh shit, he's got me, and then even Shoto was like, I got you, and he just throws him. He knew he could have used his left side, and he could have just ended it right there, to be honest. I think so, at least. He could have just blown him to bits right there, but he just throws him, and Bokugo's like, bro, you serious? Go all out. Are you kidding? Don't play with me and whatnot. But then Bokugo goes in for a big attack. His tornado howitzer impact is what he called it. He didn't say tornado, but he did a little tornado spin, and he calls it a howitzer impact. It was the same blast that he used against Araka when she dropped all those rocks, that huge blast. And so he goes in, going in with that crazy, that he's twisting and he's getting ready to charge up. So he's basically doing a big blast while adding, momentum to it. And the announcers are like, oh snap, it's gonna be crazy. And then Midoriya yells from the stands. He's like, Shoto, you better not lose. Go all out. Try your best, basically. And Shoto he stops and he's like, oh crap, Midoriya's right for like a quick second. He's like, he stops and he realizes, he's like, Midoriya? Is that Midoriya? He hears his voice. And then the fire from his left side starts going up and he's powering up and his ice is melting. And it's like, oh no, he's about to go ham. That's what it looked like. He was about to go ham in that shit. And then like quick flashes of like his mother and his father and everything go through. And then he stops charging up and this is just like that oh no moment. This is that oh no moment. He stops charging up and Boku blows him to bits. He blows him out of the stands and knocks him unconscious. And his shoulders out of bounds, and that was the end of that fight. And then Boku goes mad. He's like, really? Why did you stop? He's getting ready to punch him or shake him or whatnot. And the judge, which we finally know what her power pretty much does, it either puts him to sleep or knocks people unconscious and whatnot. She uses her power to stop him and puts him to sleep. And then after that, it's kind of just like the celebration. They're ending the tournament. This is like the end of the tournament. It just ends so quickly right here. Tournaments, they give you the celebrations, give you first, second, and third place. Idia wasn't there for his third place medal because he went to go visit his brother in the hospital. So it kind of interludes into that of Idia going into the hospital, going to see his brother. Or he's on the train getting ready to go see him. And, they're giving them medals to everybody. And All Might kind of comes through. He talks to each one of them, tells them, good job and whatnot. And he talks to Shota. He's like, I'm not going to ask about the details while you stop the fire, but, you do you, he was like, you're still the best. You're still the best. Nah, he didn't say nothing like that. But that's, man, I don't know. I don't know if I just, man, it's just Shota's character is so good. Like, I don't know if I wanted him to win first place, but the way he lost was just like, damn, I wish they kind of, made the fight a little bit longer. So I don't know. I was just kind of just like, damn, Bokugo, out of all people, knocked him out of bounds like that. Whatever. But anyways, after all that happens, the announcement and everything, it goes, Idia visits his brother in the hospital. His brother's like, had just had surgery. He's looking pretty beat up. He's like, man, I lost to the villain. I'm sorry I lost, little bro. And Idia and his mom's kind of there just like upset and crying. His mom's like fainting a little bit. And it goes to Shoto, and he's actually going to the hospital as well. And it shows a new character. I was like, is that? At first I was like, is that Shoto's mom? And it's like, no, she has red bits. His mom didn't have red bits. And then she's like, brother, where you go? I was like, oh, that's his brother. Like, then I remembered the part when his dad was like, yeah, I tried to make so many of you until I got the perfect kid, which was you, the perfect kid with the perfect balance of powers or whatever. And I was like, yeah, it's one of his probably like 500 sisters that he has. And, yeah, she had like little specks of red coming out of her hair and everything. She's like, why are you deciding now to go to the hospital? And he was just like, she's like, are you sure it's okay not to tell dad? And he's just like, oh, whatever, I'm going to the hospital. So he goes and he visits his mom, and the episode kind of cuts with him just like walking to the hospital, opening the door, and when he sees her, his mom looks at him, and then it kind of cuts there with him taking like a step towards her. I was like, okay, oh, that's pretty cool. I wonder what they're going to talk about, they'll probably say in the next episode or whatnot. Maybe later on in the future, kind of what's going on between them. But he just said he's going to help her get out of that hospital pretty much, which I still think is crazy how she's in there because of his dad. But after that was pretty much the end of the episode. That was everything I had to review. The only other thing I really have to comment is the ending. I usually don't watch like the endings of animes, like how it gives you like a preview of the next episode, because I don't really like the spoiler. I like to be kind of surprised. I don't like the spoilers, but it gives you like little clips at the end of Boku no Hero. So I watched it I was just not paying attention. It went off, and I was watching it, and Uraka was going into her house, and this scared the living shit, bro. This scared the fuck out of me. Like I thought this was literally about to be like, oh no, a new arc is starting in this bitch. Like this is how it's gonna start. Uraka's getting kidnapped. She opens her door to her house, and you just see eyes, and it's just like, oh, Chaka, and then like She's just like screams, and her parents come rushing out the darkness. I literally jumped from that. Like I was pretty scared when that shit came through, and then I was like, oh, it's just her parents. I was like, how are they gonna do? Because like they scream so loud and shit, it would just happen so fast. I was surprised. But yeah, if you haven't seen that, it's actually pretty funny. But yeah, I had a little clip of Boku going there as well, and just him brushing his teeth, like, die, germs, die. So it's pretty funny. I'm going to start watching those at the end of every episode. But yeah, that was my review on episode 12, season 2. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will catch you guys next week. And other than that, love you guys. And yeah, deuces.